When I first met Brian was back in the summer of '92, actually at a Beastie Boys concert. He was there with his first kind of long-term girlfriend, and name withheld, of course. And he was with her, I was with a bunch of my friends, and we had seen each other before just because of the music scene or whatever. And at the show, we kind of made eye contact and whatever, but he was with his girlfriend, and I wasn't going to try and pursue anything. So after the show, his band was playing later on that week, at the weekend or whatever, at Washington Square. And he was passing out flyers for that show. And as I passed, he made sure that he came up to me and he's like, hey, you know, what's up, blah, blah, blah. Here's a flyer for my next show. I really want you to go. If you can, bring a paper airplane and a bottle of Jack Daniels. And I just kind of looked at him knowing perfectly well that I was never going to be able to get a bottle of Jack Daniels, being that I was like 17 years old, already underage, you know, for any sort of nightclub. But, you know, paper airplane thing I probably could do, but didn't happen, never went. So the next weekend after that was the Slammy Awards, and he was with Jordy at the time, hanging out at the Button. I was there another time with my friends. Ran into him then. Jordy and I were friends before Brian and I were friends, so he introduced me to him, and he was, you know, I gotta get your number, and, you know, I'm going away to Tampa this weekend for a show, so here's my number, I'll call you. And we ended up getting together after that. That's why I'll never be really bitter towards him in any way, just because I got to see so much. And when I was like 20 years old, I moved to LA when he was doing the rest of Portrait that they ended up having to redo. You know, everyone always asks, oh, aren't you mad that he did this or he did that? And no, I mean, I learned a lot from him. And I mean, some things weren't good, of course, but a lot of things were good. Going back to if people think that I'm bitter or mad because of what happened, I'm absolutely not in any way, shape, or form, never. Always will be there for him, no matter how many shitty things have happened, no matter what, just because I've learned so much from him through all the years we were together, good and bad things, you know. He might have not been the best influence on me, you know, a lot of people might say. He didn't do the best things to me, but we still, I mean, shared a lot of things that were good, and if people were ever to ask if I was ever mad about anything, no way. No way. The whole scab tree thing, when everyone got involved, and I think that was like the funnest thing anybody down here has ever done. You know, no one else has done that and been successful at all. Not that it was successful, but, you know, it was probably the funnest thing everyone can remember from back then. That was like, I don't know, 90, 94, 95, I'm not sure. But that was probably the funnest thing. Caused a lot of fights, pissed a lot of people off just because of some of the stuff that they wrote. But besides that, it was fun. People still talk about it now. So, I mean, then you can go back to like the 9 Inch Nails show when Brian supposedly gave Robin Fink head from 9 Inch Nails. But that whole thing was blown so out of proportion, you know, made everybody be like, oh, you know, and his parents were there too, and oh my God. I mean, the best thing that happened at that show was when Mr. Lifto from Jim Rose Circus was there backstage. Brian's parents are all, you know, backstage. Mr. Lifto jumps up on the counter, and Brian's like, do the trick, do the trick. And, you know, Lifto rips down his pants and picks up Brian's lunchbox with, you know, with his Prince Albert piercing. That was like the best thing that happened that night. Not